Buddhist laypersons in Sri Lanka observe 8 precepts, abstaining from killing, stealing, sexual activity, telling lies, using intoxicants and drugs, eating after noon, engaging in entertainment or beautifying the body, and using luxurious beds and seats at the temple on full moon days. They generally observe 5 precepts which are compatible with maintaining household life. However, on full moon days, and on 3 additional Poya days per month in the Buddhist calendar, most Buddhists commit to observing the 8 precepts, allowing for a more intensive practice of virtue. According to Buddhism, virtuous behavior progressively leads to ultimate liberation. The video showcases how some laypersons in Sri Lanka spent a full moon day at a temple observing the 8 precepts. The video was recorded in April 2022 at Anandarama Temple in Katana, Sri Lanka. This is the Sri Anandarama Buddhist Temple, located in Kaluwarippuwa, West Katana, Sri Lanka. It is a rural area known for its peace and silence. This is the entrance to the temple. The statue at the entrance may symbolize the guardians of the temple. You are now looking at the shrine room of the temple. There are some statues and paintings inside, depicting incidents from the Buddha's last and previous lives, and also some historical events related to Buddhism in Sri Lanka. The shrine room also contains statues of Buddhist gods. The temple has a pagoda, as is common in Buddhist temples. It was nearly lunchtime when we arrived at the temple. The laymen and laywomen who come to the temple to observe the 8 precepts on full moon days generally arrive by 6 a.m. They observe the precepts, guided by a monk, and practice them throughout the day. Before having lunch, they offer food to the Buddha. They serve the first portion of the prepared food and place it on the altar of the Buddha statue in the shrine room, with the spirit of offering it to the living Buddha. The food is brought to the shrine room, and everyone touches the container holding the food as their contribution to this meritorious act. Now, everyone is entering the shrine room to ritually offer the food to the Buddha. The food has been placed on the altar of the Buddha statue, and the monk is coming to guide the offering. The ritual begins. After offering the food to the Buddha, everyone moves to the hall, where they will spend most of the day observing the precepts. The sponsors of the lunch serve the food to those observing the precepts. The lunch consists of traditional Sri Lankan food, rice and curry, some salad, and some crisps.
Make Sri Lanka.
After being served, everyone takes their seats, but they do not start eating right away. Before eating, they take a handful of the food, which includes all the items served, and place it in a container. This container of shared food is then taken away to be given to the animals. This practice showcases the Buddhist tradition of giving. Then they contemplate the food. This is a monastic's practice to reflect on the nature of food and its purpose. The purpose of food is solely to maintain the body for the practice of Dharma, to seek liberation. They then express gratitude and transfer merit to the sponsors of the lunch. Afterward, they begin their meal. After lunch, a monk gives a sermon. The abbot of the temple, Venerable Dodanduve Ananda Thero, also addresses the assembly.
ඒ ආරම්භ කරපු දා ඉඳලා මේ වෙනකන් සඳහන් වෙලා තියෙනවා ඒ පොතේ. ඒ පොත මට අද ඉතින් තමයි ලබා දුන්නේ. ඒ පොතේ සඳහන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. පහුගිය පොයේ දෙකේ වෙච්ච සිද්ධියක් නිසා කුංචි සැකයක් විතරක් මතුවලා තිබුණා.
These are the activities scheduled for the laymen and laywomen on full moon days. According to the schedule, at 6:15 a.m. they offer milk rice to the Buddha. Then they observe the 8 precepts. At 7 a.m. they offer breakfast to the Buddha and then have their own breakfast. After breakfast, there is an act of transferring merits to the sponsors of the breakfast, parents, deceased relatives, and gods. From 8:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. they engage in meditation, recalling the qualities of the Buddha, Buddha Nusati. A Buddhist sermon follows, and afterward they have some tea. At 11 a.m. they offer lunch to the Buddha, as you saw. Until 4:45 p.m. there are other activities: walking meditation, Dharma sermons, and chanting of Parita. At 4:15 p.m. they observe the 5 precepts, which are for laypersons returning to their households. This marks the end of the observance of the 8 precepts, which may not be fully protected in household life. Some adults stay overnight, continuing to observe the 8 precepts until the following morning.
මම උපතින්ම බෞද්ධ.
පොඩි කාලේ ඉස්සර මම ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ පොඩි කාලේ සිල් සමාදන් වෙන්න යනවා. සිල් සමාදන් වෙනවා කියන එකෙන් ඒ දැන් සිල් සමාදන් වෙන්න හිතනකොට සතියක් විතර පුරාම අපි ඒකට සූදානම් වෙනවා. ඒක ඉතින් හරිම ආසාවෙන් තමයි මේ සිල් සමාදන් වෙන්න යන්නම ලෑස්ති වෙන්නේ. එක දවසක්වත් අතහරින්න සූදානම් නැහැ. මේ සිල් සමාදන් වෙන්න මොනම හේතුවකටවත්. ඒගොල්ලෝ සාක්ෂාත් කරගන්නවා කියන එක නම් මුතුන් හිමතල්ම පහසු දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. නිර්වාණය සාක්ෂාත් කරගන්න අපිට ගොඩක් අපිරියෙන් කරන්න. ඇත්තටම ඒක නම් මම හිතන්නේ ගිහි ජීවිතේ ඉඳන් කරන්න අපිට අමාරුයි කියලා මම හිතන්නේ. ඒක අපි ගිහි ජීවිතය අත්හැරලා අපිට ටිකක් ඒකට ගොඩක් කැප කරන්න ඕනේ. නිර්වාණය සාක්ෂාත් කරගන්න ගිහි ජීවිතය අත්හැරලා ඒකටම අපි කැප වෙනවා. හරි අපිට මාර්ගඵලයක් ලබා ගන්න අපි ලොකු කැපකිරීමක්. හැබැයි අපි මේ මාර්ගයට අවතීර්ණ වෙන්න මේක උපකාරී වෙනවා.